The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from New York.
I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days within which to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material on the measures before us.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
The Presidential Transition Enhancement Act would make a number of important changes to the transition process when a new president is elected. I want to thank Senators Johnson and Carper for their hard work on this issue. Many of the provisions in the bill before us today were introduced in the House by our late chairman, Elijah Cummings, in the Transition Team Ethics Improvement Act. Most importantly, the bill would strengthen the ethics requirements for transition team members. The Government Accountability Office issued a report in 2017 about President Trump's presidential transition. GAO reported that the Trump transition team required team members to sign an ethics code of conduct, but failed to designate a transition team member responsible for enforcing it. Ethics plans are important for presidential transitions because presidents-elect often hire transition team members who work in the private sector. But unlike federal employees, private sector employees are not subject to federal ethics laws. This bill would require eligible presidential candidates to agree to enforce ethics plans during the transition period. The bill includes core elements of what those ethics plans should include, such as a description of how the transition team will address participation by lobbyists and individuals working for foreign governments. The bill would also require that transition teams make the ethics plans they adopt publicly available. It also includes provisions to ensure that non-public information remains confidential and is not used in any way for personal gain. The bill would clarify the responsibility of the General Services Administration during a transition by requiring a memorandum of understanding between the agency and the presidential transition team. Finally, the bill would allow GSA to provide transition services for up to 60 days after an inauguration. These provisions would help ensure smoother transitions than we've had in the past. I am very glad this is a bipartisan bill. The Senate approved this bill without any opposition. The peaceful transition of power from one party to another is a cornerstone of our democratic system. We must do all we can to ensure the integrity of that process. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this important legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.